Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I just finished watching season 5, episode 6 of Breaking Bad, and this one was a shit show. So the highlights of this episode is Walt getting Jesse to eat dinner with Skylar. This is a dynamic I never thought I needed, but I really enjoyed all of them together at the dinner table. Jesse just wanted to go home, man. Jesse just wanted to go home. But Walt was like, no, come sit. Like, my fucking bitch wife wants to make me uncomfortable. I'm gonna make her uncomfortable. So, very, very, very uncomfortable. Walt, Skylar, and Jesse dinner. Jesse's trying to keep the peace. He's trying to make small talk, you know. He has this respect for his elders. He's like, hey, like, how's the car wash going? Oh, how are you? Like, Walt talks so good about you, blah, 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 blah. And Skylar's like, did he tell you about my affair? She's like, you know, he told my sister. He's telling everybody else. Did he tell you? And then Jesse's like, damn, this is awkward as fuck. And he's like, wow, this food's really good. She's like, I bought it as is. And he's like, well, you're a good shopper then. So I'm very much on Mike's side at this point in the show. I'm on Mike's side. I'm on Jesse's side. I think Walt is stupid. I think he's just dumb. Like, I understand he thinks the business is all he has, but that's not true. Like, you're alive. You're not in prison. You have that shit too. And then with the money, you can buy whores. You can find another wife, a younger wife. You know, like, there's a lot you can do when you have $5 million. But Walt isn't looking at it like that. He has the trauma of selling his share of the business to, Gwen and Elliot. That trauma sits in his chest. So that's one of the reasons why he can't just sell out. He has a lot of reasons. It's very multifaceted. It's that, you know, the gray matter business, 2.6 billion, Jesus. It's that, it's his pride and ego, as we've always known. You know, there's his sunk cost fallacy that he has going on, like, I put blood, sweat, tears, blah, 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 into this business. I can't just stop now, Jesse. Come on, Jesse. And he wants Jesse by his side no matter what. And it's so weird. I understand wanting camaraderie. I understand wanting a friend. I understand that Jesse is the only person on the planet who likes you right now besides Walter Jr. and Hank. That's all you have. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you gotta just be able to let people go. You have to be able to let people go. There's a saying that I've always remembered. I forget what it's from. Let me think for like 1 second. Oh, okay. Big Joel. I love myself some Big Joel. Big Joel, Big Joel. The YouTuber Big Joel. He was having this argument with another YouTuber, Gaming's Magic, about Toy Story 4. And about how, you know, it's not in Woody's character to ever leave a child behind. Because in Toy Story 4, well, first of all, Woody's character is built upon loyalty to one's child, right? Like, I'm a toy. Whenever my child needs me, my job is to be right there for comfort, for playtime, for whatever. I'm a toy. I have to stay loyal to my child. And so all of the adventures, the wacky adventures of Toy Story, are based around that fact. And, you know, Woody is the most loyal toy. Toy Story 4 kind of flips that on its head. Andy's gone. Now, Woody's person is Bonnie. And he's loyal to Bonnie. And then just flip at the end, Woody chooses himself. And so Big Joel's argument was, okay, Gaming's Magic, his argument was, this is out of character, which makes Toy Story 4 a shit movie, makes it garbage, because Woody would never choose himself over his child, which I agree with. I do agree with the fact that Woody would never do that, the Woody we knew. But I also agreed with Big Joel's counter perspective. You have to realize when you've had a good thing. You have to be able to... What's happening? You have to be able to accept the fact that you had a good thing. Like with Woody, Woody had a good thing with Andy. He had a very special, like once in a lifetime, literally once in a lifetime bond with Andy. He had that. And Big Joel's perspective was kind of like, you have to realize when you've had a good thing and be able to walk away at the end of it. You have to also be able to realize when that good thing is over. And you have to have your own like conscience and be able to move past that because the good thing is over. It was good. It was special. It made you happy. Both of you guys were thriving. But it's over now. And there's another saying, you never want to be the last one to jump off the ship. Right? If you see the ship is sinking, you don't want to be that last person because, what if there's not any more life vests? What if there's no more room on the, small boats to get away? You never want to be the last person to jump off of the ship. You have to realize when you've had a good thing and it's over. Like me, I've had 2 friendships that I lost recently, 2 10-year friendships. And I can sit here with the fact like, okay, I had a good thing. Like it was good. The good parts were good. Now, can I sit here and mope over those lost connections forever? Can I sit here and remain loyal to those 2 people and stay silent about what went wrong in the friendship and everything? Can I do that stuff? I mean, yeah, I can. But I'm at the place where, and honestly, Big Joel helped a lot with this by saying it. I'm at the place where I can realize when I've had a good thing, realize for one reason or another, it's gone awry and it went to shit and it's over. And it's time to be in my own conscience and in my own conscience and choose something else. And so that's what Woody does in Toy Story 4. Why am I talking? Oh my God. Anyways, back to Breaking Bad. Walt had a good thing. He had a good thing when it was just in the trailer with him and Jesse. Okay. He had an even better thing when it was Gus, before the big betrayal, before killing the other dealers. He had a good thing. Then Gus got mad. That's the situation where things are going awry, where you have to reinsert yourself back into your own conscience, reevaluate your fucking situation and be like, this was good. Now it's not. Time to move on and find something else. Walt has been at that point for so long. Move on, find something else. Move on, find something else. And he won't. He refuses to. We already talked about why. The sunk cost fallacy, his pride and his ego. And now he's telling Jesse, this is all I have, and you're trying to take it away from me. Basically saying that I feel like he's trying to gaslight Jesse into sticking with him, as we've seen him do time and time again. It's weird, it's predatory, it's creepy. Walt really is the most pathetic character I've seen in television in a very long time. In a very long time. This does not, whatever, I'm just gonna say it. So we already know that in Attack on Titan, the author Isayama was inspired partly by Game of Thrones, was inspired by Breaking Bad, and he considers Breaking Bad one of the best endings of any show ever, right? So we know all of this is fact. The problem is, Isayama tried to turn Eren into Walt. And it's just not 1-to-1. It's not one-to-one at all. It's not even close to one-to-one, because Walt is someone I can put my foot down and say that's a pathetic character. He stands for nothing. He's doing this because he feels like this is all he has left, like, to occupy himself, to make time pass. This is what he feels like the only thing is left for him to make the days go by. Whereas with Eren, this was, and it was proven by the series to be the only thing he could do to protect his people. It's not one-to-one at all. You can't call Eren Jaeger a pathetic character, because he was literally left with no options. He was not cast aside by everyone else for being basically a piece of shit. People were still trying to get through to him, reach out to him against their own fucking benefit. That's a whole nother story. But you can't, I mean, I do feel like watching this show that this is, in the final episode, what Isayama is going for. I feel like he was trying to create this this view of Eren where he is this pathetic loser who was shown all these different options, as Walt was. You know, Walt could have accepted the money from Gwen and Elliot. Walt could have done so many different things. He could have stopped selling at this point. He could have stopped selling at this point. He could have just walked away so many times. And it's like, Isayama tries to make a parallel with Eren with that. And it's like, it's not one-to-one at all. It's not the same thing. It's not even close. It's like, these are two completely different characters. One, Walter White, is very pathetic, is very much clinging on to the only thing that can make the time go by, that could give him some fulfillment, because, you know, his personal life has gone to shit by his own doing. Whereas Eren, his personal relationships have gone to shit by his own doing, in a way, right? He chose to shut his friends out, as Walt did in the previous seasons. But it's still not one-to-one. I can't sit here and say Eren Jaeger's a pathetic character for trying to protect the people of Paradis. Does that make sense? Eren actually had no other options. Eren literally had no other options, as written in the story. Whereas Walter White had several. And so I believe this series, Breaking Bad, is going to end in some sort of 139 moment where Walter is like, whoa, I don't know. I feel like it's going to end something like that. And I can only imagine Isayama being like, Breaking Bad was received so well. You know, he turned his main character into this pathetic fucking thing who had so many ways to get around what he was doing, but he just wanted to do it. Literally, he just wanted to do it, right? So, Jesus Christ, it all makes sense now. I see what Isayama did. I see what he was going for now. This is the blueprint he tried to copy. But he did it so wrong because his narrative doesn't fit the same Breaking Bad narrative. There are no options for Eren. Therefore, this character that's driven into this corner is not pathetic for doing the only thing that would protect his people. Literally. You know, where Walt says, I'm doing it for the family. I'm doing it for the family. The creator of Breaking Bad shows you literal examples where he's getting much more out of it. His pride, his ego, the money, the praise to his product, right? He gets all of that out of it. All of that, that's why he's doing it. It's not even about his family. It started because of his family. Now, what can you say about Eren Jaeger? When he brought the people of Paradis into paths and told them straight up, I'm doing this for you, for your future. And he literally is. And there's literally no options. And the ending of the series validates that in Paradis Destruction. That rant being said, I just want to say that, yeah, a lot of good stuff this episode. I am so much on Mike's side. we're at the point where Walt just grosses me out. I'm just sick of him. He doesn't think about anyone but himself. Like, no one feels sorry for you. No one can relate to you. No one feels bad. Because you quite literally spent this entire series, which takes place over a year, making your bed, destroying your family, ruining the mental health of your wife, pushing away your kids, doing all of this shit while you should have just moved into your fucking condo. You're making everyone uncomfortable in the house, except for, obviously, the kids. They don't know what's going on, but you quite literally are putting them in danger. And, like, I get it, you know, the big bad guy is finally killed, but this is still the meth business, and your information is out there. So Skylar is completely within her right, and it makes fucking sense that she's scared shitless of the kids being home. And she's scared of Walt. All of that makes sense. She would be kind of a foolish character if she wasn't afraid still. And I don't know. I'm just disturbed, if we're being for real. Let's get on to the Tommy guy with the jail connections and whatnot. They better not fire that guy. What the fuck? You don't want to fire someone who first of all, is devoted to you. Second of all, seems kind of unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he would bring a gun to a job without telling Mike, his supervisor, if he would shoot sight unseen, right? Like, automatic shoot. You don't want someone like that to not be on your side. So Walt was right to be like third option. Mike was right to be like third option. Jesse needs to get over it. I know, like, it's tragic that they killed a 14-year-old. That is really sad and tragic. And yeah, he was just waving and he didn't deserve that. But at the end of the day, this is something where you guys are all trying to not be caught. It makes sense that you, at this point, want to pull out Jesse, but come on. You saw what happened to Andrea's little brother. You obviously know this is the line of work where shit like this happens sometimes. And you got back into it time and time again. Obviously, he was manipulated. You know, Walt played a big part in drawing Jesse back in, but at the end of the day, it happened, right? That being said, I think I do have one more episode in me, and I do want to watch it, so I'm going to pop it in and give her a quick look. I am really wondering to see how this buyout of the methylamine is going to work. Walt should definitely just give up his share. Like, yeah, your business will be done, but that's the good thing. Like, you want to, like I said before, you never want to be the last person to jump off of the ship. The fucking DEA, they're closing in on him. And he just doesn't stop. I just realized something else. There's a point in the series in the last few episodes where Skylar tells Walt, she's like, I feel like a part of you wanted Hank to catch you. And I feel like maybe Isayama was inspired to make Reiner say that shit about Eren. You know what I'm saying? During the rumbling. Well, I mean, if I were him, I'd want to be stopped. I feel like I'm starting to see where Isayama went wrong in Attack on Titan. He tried to make it this heroic thing. He got inspired by Avengers and all of that bullshit. He saw that Breaking Bad was universally very well received. And he tried to incorporate all of that to give whatever the fuck chapter 139 is. It all makes sense now. Anyways, I'll see you guys for the next video. Comment, like, and subscribe, and bye.